Adrian Yanez grew up in the world of combat sports, first under the guidance of his dad, Andy, and then as a student of head coach Saul Solis. Tragedy threatened to derail his career after losing both of his father figures to illness. Yanez, however, has vowed to honor their legacies by continuing his own success inside the octagon and paying it forward by training a new generation of upcoming fighters. We go inside Adrian's story in this edition of Fighter Focus.
Early years in my life, I just remember a lot of being outside. Playing with my friends, I was very, very active at home. My dad would just find a way, or my mom would just find a way just to keep us busy doing something. My dad, he was a really good boxer, won amateur titles and everything. And the way I would get closer with my dad was watching the fights. We would order the fights, and my dad would be super, in with the fights. Like, a good fight happens, and my dad would grab me, like, yeah, you see that? Like, yeah. Like, I'm just like, yeah. Like, I was like, I'm getting affection. But as I'm watching it, I'm seeing, just the art and the beauty of, these guys just going at it. And I'm, falling in love with it while also trying to get closer with my dad. Whenever I was 15 years old, I started training MMA, and I remember talking to my dad saying, I need to get better punches, better hands. And that's when my dad was like, all right, started searching around, and we see Metro Fight Club. Next thing you know, we're there on a Saturday. Walk in, Coach Saul's doing a private session, and you just see the amount of pictures that he had. He had pictures with Tito Ortiz, Carlo Prater on there, Melvin Gillard, Eve Edwards, all I'm just wide-eyed, just being like, how did I not know about this? And after the first couple of days of me training, I knew I wanted to fight. I already knew martial arts was gonna be in my life somehow for the rest of my life. Just the aura that my coach Saul had, him and my dad ended up being good friends. We'd be watching UFC fights, and I'd be so enthralled. My dad would be the one telling me, he's like, you can be there. You're gonna do this. I know you can. You can absolutely do it. And I'd always just tell my dad, yeah, you're crazy, Dad. Yeah, you're crazy, Dad. I thought the man was crazy. But then I went undefeated as an amateur and had my first pro fight. And starting to look up, I was like, maybe the UFC is a possibility. Yeah, maybe. I can try this. During that time, kind of started noticing that my dad was starting to lose weight. And then they start running tests, just trying to see what's wrong. And then on my birthday, find out that, he got stomach cancer. It was stage 4, so. They started chemo right after. He stayed strong for as long as he could, but my dad passed away. Years later, I learned I was gonna be on the Contender Series. The one who broke the news to me was my coach Saul. That conversation that we had, I was like, you and my dad told me I could get here. You and my dad. And I was like, got it, this is my chance. This is my chance.
Adrian Yanez's dad, Andy, was his world. Tonight, he chases this dream of a UFC contract.
His father was a boxer, wanted to follow in his footsteps, but fell in love with MMA.
I remember about to step into the cage and just being like, oh, this is it.
Fight. Yanez, his boxing style, very crisp hands.
Oh, he lays a hard left.
Oh, he's out.
He stunned him and he's out. That's it.
After the ref stopped it, I just remember just being shocked. It was taking me a second just to take everything in.
Adrian Yanez, quick work of Brady Huang.
My coach, he was so proud. I just started smiling.
Dad, I did it.
I fall flat on the canvas, laying there, and I'm just looking at the ceiling, and I'm like, holy Dad, I did it. And going back to whenever my dad was watching boxing, I see how proud he was of his fighter if he did good. That moment, I was happy, I was joyful, proving my dad right. So, and then I got my contract, and I immediately was like, I have to go to my dad. My way of sharing it with him was I went to his gravesite and was showing the tombstone, the papers. I signed it then and there. I was ready for like the biggest stage of my career.
Adrian Yanez out of Texas is back in Las Vegas and hoping to break in that UFC contract with a big win tonight.
Combos, Adrian, combos.
There's a good right and another. He's hurt.
Head kick! Holy smokes! Adrian Yanez!
Let's go! The sky's the limit for this guy. And he has a tremendous coach in Saul Solis.
Let the hands go.
Oh, that's gonna do it!
Wow.
Adrian Yanez, Mr. Knockout, does it again!
I'm telling you, we have a future contender on our hands.
Saul Solis, he deserves all the credit, man. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in this position I am today. So big credit to my coach, Saul Solis.
My third fight in the UFC. I just remember Saul was like, I'm so sorry, I apologize. He had contracted COVID, so he wasn't able to be in my corner for that fight. I was like, yeah, we'll be fine. We're gonna be good.
Right away, these guys are going after it. Oh!
Randy started off very fast.
Oh!
I didn't expect that from him.
All Costa early on.
Look at Costa in his face.
Stiff jab for Costa and another. Man.
Walking back to that corner, I was like, I'm better than this.
Keep your hands a little bit more head movement. Touch it. You're much better than that. Relax, okay?
Round 2, I just started doing all the things that worked. Everything that Saul had taught me.
Nice. There it is, Adrian.
Yanez is pressuring heavy, and it's adding up. Oh, body shot. Oh! He hurt it.
Here goes Yanez.
Oh, he's done.
There it is. Wow. How about it?
Yanez is the real deal.
Immediately right after the fight, I get on a call with him, and he's just like, yeah, it's like one of the worst things he's ever been through and all that stuff. And I'm just like, again? And I'm just like, nah, coach, you're gonna get through this. You're strong. Like, you're strong. Like, yeah, you can do this. You got this. Like, you're coach. You got it. I'm just talking to him, and it was a lot of him expressing himself to me, how proud he was. At the time, I didn't know that was gonna be my last conversation with him. My dad, and Saul, like, the two people who told me I could do all this aren't there anymore. I had no time to mourn. At that point in time, like, I had to act because right underneath Saul, it was me. And then it was everybody else. Fly back Sunday, had to be back in the gym that Monday because I had training partners that were fighting 3 weeks later. And I even told all of them, I talked to them, I was like, if any of y'all would want to pull out now, please don't think you have to go and fight. They all decided they still wanted to fight. It immediately turned into, I have to start working with these fighters. I have to start training these guys.
1, 2, jab. 1, 2, step, 2, jab. 1, 2, jab. There you go. Short, long cross. Again.
Adrian, he just, more than anything, he has the experience. I'm basically following his footsteps. He's like my big little brother.
Step in, jab.
The one place that we all train at is the place that Saul would be at every single day. It was me sitting where he would sit, coaching where he would coach.
Left leg to the fence. Keeping it nice and tight. Let's just say past the head pressure, you use that elbow right here. Keeping the wedge in, start working your way up, automatically.
I'm extremely proud to fill the role. I'm just happy that I have a good second man in charge in Cameron that helps me be like, hey, we just gotta keep doing what we're doing.
We both decided we wanted to keep the gym going. We both wanted to be there for the guys like Coach was. We'll never get close to being Coach or anything like him, but we can try our best. He showed us a lot of his secrets, a lot of his tactics.
Gracias, big campo. Let's go, 1, 2.
Adrian Yanez, 3-0 since joining the UFC. 3 Performance of the Night bonuses, 3 knockouts.
Stay tight.
I had definitely felt like in that last fight, I had to go out there and win.
Certainly the toughest test in the career of Adrian Yanez.
He has a lot to fight for here tonight. His coach, Saul Solis, passed away, and he said, you know, I just want to go out there and show him that he was right.
Big left from Yanez.
There it is. There it is.
Did you see the head movement? I mean,
at the time, I thought I was doing it for me, but it wasn't really for me.
Adrian Yanez extends the win streak.
Made him proud. He made all of us proud.
Did you learn something about yourself today?
Yeah, I'm always learning something for myself in a fight. Like, especially this one, with just how the training camp was and just how emotional this one was, like with everything that went on. Man, like it just kind of just solidified that what my coach and what my dad had told me their entire life, like whenever I was with them, they just believed in me and they knew I could do this.
I've had things happen to me that a lot of fighters would have just quit. I didn't. It's the story of my career. Like, a lot of has happened. I might have like lost in different ways, but just never stopped. And I'm gonna keep going, keep going, keep going until I reach the belt.